This video is about Trackmattes, and it's also about combining multiple effects. So this is the end result of a very quick motion type sequence, and you can see that the visual effect is that the text looks like it goes behind the bottle, and we get the lovely kind of warping, rippling look from the looking through the glass. Okay, so this bottle is just taken off the IKEA website, so it's the corking, in case you're interested, and it is not transparent or anything like that. It's actually just a combination of masks and effects that give the illusion that we are actually looking through the bottle. Okay, so you can see the effect alone there on the text. So this allows us to use Trackmattes in a slightly more complicated way than you've looked at before. So what I'll do is I'll start from scratch just with the bottle, and we'll take it step by step. Okay, so we have our bottle. Now we need our text. So I'll just type some creative Trackmattes we'll go for this time. It doesn't matter what is written, and that's going to animate from right to left again. So I'll pull up the position and keyframe it from the top of the timeline over, we'll say 4 seconds. We go 5. Hold down shift, click and drag. Okay, so let's check the timing on that. It's a little bit fast, so we'll just stretch it out a little bit further along the timeline. Now, I'm going to call this layer normal, because it's going to be the normal text that doesn't get warped as it passes through the bottle. And we're going to work with 2 identical text layers. So to do that, I'm going to hit Control and D, and it's going to automatically copy and paste the layer that was selected, and I'm going to call this one warped. Now here's the way it's going to work. We're actually going to use a set of masks to make one layer invisible when it hits the bottle, and another layer visible only when it hits the bottle. And when the text that is visible within the bottle passes through, we're going to put some effects on it. So I'm going to turn off warped for now and leave normal there, and I'm going to create a solid, and I'm going to call it matte normal, because this is going to create, or I'll call it mask just to keep the naming simple, mask normal. Click OK. I can switch that off now because I don't need to look at it. All I need to do is make sure that it's selected, and I'm going to draw just barely outside the edge of that bottle. I'm going to draw my mask, and I'm going to set on toggle switches and modes. I'm going to look at my Trackmatte column here, and I'm going to set my normal text to be alpha matte mask normal. Okay, now it's doing the opposite of what I want. That's fine. I just hit the Trackmatte layer, bring up my mask by hitting M, and change it from add to subtract. Okay, now what that allows me to do is to pass the text behind the bottle. Okay, now I left it slightly outside just so I could get a little bit of the thickness of the glass, as well as the text going behind it. Okay, so that should give me decent enough illusion that it's going behind. Okay, so now I'm done with that text. I can make it invisible now, switch back on the warped text. Now what I'm going to do with the warped text is I'm going to draw a mask. First of all, sorry, I need a second Trackmatte layer, so I'll go new solid again. I call this one mask warped text, and I'll switch it off so I can see what I'm drawing on. And this time I'm going to draw, and I'm going to try and kind of draw around the warped little bits of glass there. So what I might do is just start there, and then switch off the text so I can see the bottle a bit better. So I know where I need to draw down as far as, because I can see this point still here. Right, so that is fine. Let's switch that, sorry, don't need to switch that on, let's switch my text on. And this time I'm going to do the same thing, track matte, alpha matte, but I don't want to switch it inside out or set it to subtract, because this time I actually want this text to pass in here. Now I'm going to finesse that mask a little bit later on, but we're going to get the effect going now on the warped text. And there's two effects that I'm going to pull up in effects and presets. One is called ripple. So I'll drag that out onto my warped text, and I'll just pull that down there and ripple it out. Okay, you can see it rippling there. You can play around with the different settings here if you want to change it, but I'm going to leave it at kind of a default look here, and I'm going to go for bulge, and bulge is going to give me the bulging out, and I just drag that down, pull that out, and that gives me a nice bulging look. So that is the warped text coming through now and doing its warped thing. Now there are other things I can do, such as sorry, I'll select that warped text again there now, and go into blur and sharpen, Gaussian blur, just blur that a little bit maybe, just to soften it as if it's kind of slightly out of focus as it goes behind. And yeah, that's looking okay there now. And from there on, all I need to do is switch back on my normal text, which is only visible outside the bottle, and the two, because they're moving at the same pace, because it's the same layer duplicated, will give me the effect of one piece of text going through, when in fact it is two separate text objects, and the bottle doesn't interact with them at all. It's just there to outline where the bottle needs to be. Now, just to reiterate why we use Trackmattes here, the text is moving. If I was to draw a mask directly onto the text, the mask would go with the text. But in this case, I want the text to move into a mask and back out again, but the mask shouldn't move. So I put the mask on a separate layer so that it is completely independent. And that is the end result of the bottle effect.